Welcome to Travels with Phil. I am Phil Constantine, and on this episode we are in New York City. Pardon my voice, I have a cold. And this is about the World Trade Center, both before and after 9/11. This is where the World Trade Center is. It's located at the very tip, or almost the tip, of Manhattan. You can see it there in the red sort of rectangular shape there in the map itself. This is what it looked like before 2001 and after. Those are the original Twin Towers. Let's take a look around at some of the photos of the original Twin Towers. It started being constructed in 1971. At the time, it was the largest buildings in the world. You can see some of the original construction pictures taken here as the building was going up in lower Manhattan. And again, the iconic but very simple design of the two towers there side by side. There were actually 7 buildings there in the center. And here you can see a video taken before 9/11 from the ground and also from the upper observation deck. And you're looking over at the Brooklyn Bridge from the top of the original World Trade Centers. I don't remember which tower this is. And it had a very, very good view, long distance, obviously higher up than both the Empire State Building and the top of the rock, which I have other videos for. This is part of the inside areas for the observation decks. So lots of views, places you can hold on to, and some folks get very cautious of the height while they're up in these top levels. So they do have hand railings even for the inside area. Here you're looking off toward the Hudson River. And it'll turn around here a little bit to the left, and you'll actually be able to see a little bit on your left-hand side here of one of the other towers taken from the observation deck from the opposite one. This is looking out toward New Jersey from the very top of the building. This is the absolute top of one of the buildings. You can see it's very open, very casual, obviously bringing baby carriages out there. And then this is looking back toward the city, the main part of the city, the top of the other tower. And then back on the ground level, so high up that it would be in the fog sometimes. You could see it all the way from Brooklyn easily. And from various levels, they were obviously very tall, iconic buildings, even when placed next to other tall buildings as well. From the river. And from Ellis Island. So let's switch over to the new World Trade Center. It is the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere, 1,776 feet high, 1776. Took a while to build. Travels with Phil. I'm on, I'm by Albany Street and Liberty Way. And there is the World Trade Center. Another big building right beside it. Nice little walkway here, bicycle way, walkway, coming straight from the Battery down toward World Trade Center. Very impressive building. I think its actual designation is One World Trade Center. They're building several more buildings that are not completed. The entire reconstruction has not been finished. Saw a couple of officers out there. Nice enough to take pictures with me when I was there. Little time-lapse photography here. Highly reflective building. So the Oculus is the transportation hub there at the center. It's very interesting design. Sort of wings. Very unique design here. and now it is very heavily used. The design was supposed to feature open spaces reaching for the sky. And the rest of the facility here I'm going to call the museum and the grounds. These are all dedicated to the memory of the attack of September 11th, 2001. These are the footprints, those big squares of the original buildings.
Travels with Phil, World Trade Center. This is Ground Zero. Down here you see the names of lots and lots and lots and lots of people who died. And then this is the artwork for the memorial. And it all goes into a big hole. People beside me crying. Two men are crying.
Almost 15 years after.
Solemn spot.
And get an overall look. That's the Oculus over there on the left-hand side. And this is where you enter.
Travels with Phil continues inside the 9/11 Museum. A couple of the girders, the outside girders that are still here. Years ago.
And these are what were called the tridents, those three-pointed things that you saw on the outside of the building that was still remaining afterwards. This is down in the basement.
Continuing on in the 9/11 Museum. This is one of the foundation areas. You can see these things are here on the side. Just want to close right
for the slurry wall.
These are the structural supports that go into the bedrock, and then the things were attached to them. Saw that on a TV program about the construction of the Twin Towers long before the attack ever took place. One of the beams there, marked by the Port Authority police. The Port Authority lost a lot of people, 37, more than the New York police, who lost 23. New York Fire Department, 343. Several others listed there on the beam. But this would be the base. Part of the base of where the building was.
The special wall there was to keep the water from coming in because it's so close to the river. A lot of good documentaries. This is where a lot of the survivors came down these stairs. This is part of the radio antenna from the very top part, one of the fire trucks that was demolished. These are some of the footprint areas. And again, down on the floor there where we were at earlier. This is where some of the girders went into the concrete. And I'm not going to show any video of the attack. Just this is the route that the planes took that came into the building. This is where they struck. This is the height of where they were. The area that was affected by mostly by the smoke. After the debris was removed, this is what it looked like. And this is where the buildings were before.
I want you all to know that America today is on bended knee in prayer for the people whose lives were lost here, for the workers who work here, for the families who mourn. This nation stands with the good people of New York City and New Jersey and Connecticut as we mourn the loss of thousands of our citizens. I can hear you. I can hear you. The rest of the world hears you. And the people who knocked these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
So the World Trade Center, a shadow going on. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up by clicking on the button below. You're welcome to leave comments below as long as the language is family friendly. And finally, if you'd like to see more of my videos, please subscribe to my channel by clicking the button over on the bottom right-hand corner. Thank you again for watching.